Cassie is being grilled by Diddy's defense attorneys. Is she actually the star witness we thought she was going to be? Who is going to prove the counts that he is facing? Racketeering. Can she close the loop? We're going to be joined by Touré, the hip-hop journalist who is covering this as well, and he thinks there could be someone else or someone's else who turn into the star witnesses. Welcome back to TMZ Live. We got deep into Cassie's cross-examination earlier in the show. And one of the things that we've been talking about is that she may not end up being the star witness here because a lot of her testimony just hasn't been directly about the counts that he's facing in this criminal trial.
I want to say she may not be, but the way the U.S. attorney put it and the fact that she's witness one, and they positioned her as the star witness. So the question, for me at least, is, did they deliver?
Did they deliver? And if not with Cassie, with whom will they deliver? Joining us right now to discuss that is Touré, who is, of course, covering the trial for his Substack, Culture Fries. And I'm sure you've been glued to every line of testimony as it comes out, just as we have. Well, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I see a lot of people saying, and maybe Harvey's in this camp of like, the government isn't making their case. I think the government is absolutely making their case. I don't even know what the defense is trying to do.
Oh, we like a little healthy debate here. So
okay. So
first of all, let me just say you're very perceptive.
I'm not a lawyer, but they're not making their case to lawyers. They're making a case to civilians, to jurors. The government is alleging a criminal conspiracy, an ongoing criminal enterprise, right? Diddy was committing an ongoing rape of Cassie, right? Distinct but linked series of crimes. He's doing that with the help of a group of people who are in his employ, who are doing sometimes illegal things or help creating the illegal act together, right? His chief of staff, his head of security, other people, his businesses are paying for these events. That's a criminal enterprise. A group of people who are employed by him are helping him commit an ongoing series of linked but distinct crimes.
Okay, but let me stop you there, because I don't even think the government is arguing what you're arguing. I think the racketeering is going to get into the alleged kidnappings and the Kid Cudi car explosion and all those other things. What you're talking about, where she mentioned several times she was raped, those are crimes. If it's true, they're state crimes. But I'm telling you,
no, the freak-off is a crime also if you are bringing, that's bringing someone.
Freak-off is sex trafficking.
Right,
and
is the transporting someone for sexual.
A group of people.
I'm telling you, there is a separate charge of bringing a prostitute for the purpose of commercial purposes. Yes. And he may be, let me make my point. He may be prosecuted for that. But the racketeering, if you're going to try and say racketeering is what they did in the hotel room, I don't think the jury's going to buy that. And what they're getting at is, look, the problem I'm having is they're bringing up a lot of domestic violence. And I've heard a lot of the people in the courtroom are saying the same thing. It's like they're bringing up a lot of domestic violence. And but a lot of it, they're crimes, but they're not connected to the charges that he faces federally. And when you look at the freak-offs, what I've been looking for is close the loop. That she's saying, in my mind, I was afraid that I was going to be hit or something.
They don't have to close the loop on day 4 of the testimony.
This is their star witness, and they've just rested on the star witness. They may have redirect.
She's clearly coerced to doing these events.
Why do you say clearly coerced?
She said she didn't want to do it.
This stark admission reveals the heart of the issue: consent versus coercion. Diddy's defense hinges on manipulating perceptions of relationships, showcasing a troubling dynamic where power and control overshadow genuine consent. The implications highlight a systemic failure in recognizing and addressing abuse, especially when wealth and fame distort accountability.
But that's what I'm saying. Did she say that to Diddy?
She said yes.
She
Yes,
said,
yes, she told him she didn't want to do these events. She understood that they were physically painful to her.
but
She
where did
did
she
it
say that? Listen, I'm looking for
on
that
day
too.
two. On
No,
day two.
we've looked, I mean, give me the transcript where she says to him directly, I don't want to do it, and he forced her to do it. There are
She
insinuations.
she didn't want to do it. That she's the one being sex trafficked. She's the one who felt coerced to be part of these incidents. That she
Yes,
felt
that's true.
the freak offs were her job.
Yes,
Right?
but
Like that's a devastating comment, right?
no, but wait a minute. Feeling it is one thing, and clearly she felt that. To convict him, it has to be in some way, and it could be by physical movement. It has to be expressed.
She's being taken to different places to have sex workers urinate into her mouth. No juror is going to go, maybe she liked it. She said she didn't like it. She went along with it for him, right? That's right. And there's a group of people who made that happen.
You're right, and the jury may just say, "Look, this is so far beyond the pale, if you will, that we're just going to say guilty no matter what." But when you read that testimony, she says what she was internalizing. The problem the prosecutors have, and look, believe me, I'm not taking Diddy's side. What he's done is just horrific here. But
yeah.
I know what jurors do. They're going to look at the jury instructions, and they're going to look at three words: consent, force, and coercion. And what they've got to see is somehow that's communicated in some form. And when you read
from Cassie to Diddy in real life,
that's right. And in the urination testimony, it's not there, Torre. It's just not there.
What do you mean it's not there?
She never told him.
I didn't.
No. She said it was disgusting.
in
I
court,
felt.
she said.
Yeah, she said
this
I
is
felt
what I was feeling.
Exactly.
As opposed to I told him I don't want
Exactly.
him or others urinating on it. Because she didn't say it to him.
I feel like she said it to him that she didn't want to do this. And I'm not sure that jurors are going to hang up on, you didn't tell him. He controlled her life. He controlled her, where she lived. He controlled her career. She felt this was a job. That's sex trafficking.
Who do we think could be, if it's not Cassie, as it's feeling now that she's not the star witness, as in the one who's going to close the loop, as you're putting it, Harvey? Who could be?
Christina Karam.
This is his former assistant.
I'm interested in that. Give us, download us.
8 years, who he called his right hand. She knew what was going on. She's doing the things like booking. I mean, like, look, I don't know this individual, so I cannot allege what she specifically did, but she's his right hand. She's going to have a hard time saying she didn't participate in setting up these sorts of things. And I know she said that publicly, but I can't wait to see what she says when she gets on the stand.
Christina, by the way, has denied that she was involved in any of the alleged illegal activities.
I just want to ask you, and again, I am not taking his side on this, believe me.
Of course not.
But today, on cross-examination, the defense showed her text where she was saying, I love these freak-offs, I'm down with these freak-offs. And, it was early on in the relationship, a year or two into the relationship. But when she started this, there are multiple texts. I mean, you saw them today.
And she did say that she was, but she also said, look, I was in love with him for 11 years.
So that's not an
and that it was a
inherently
complicated
coercive
relationship.
It's not inherently coercive.
I think a text, and I saw the text you're talking about. I love a freak off. LOL. Early on, I don't. That doesn't inculcate or like identify everything else that happens.
That happens for 8 years after that.
True.
I'm not sure how the defense establishes it wasn't rape. Cassie is like, he raped me many, many times, right? The freak-offs are rape. How does the defense really establish? Well, no, it's not. You could have left.
Rape me. She did say there were points when he raped her, especially when she was dating her now husband.
2018.
And she says Sean Combs came to her house, raped her right there. That is a clear state crime.
She said she didn't want to participate in the freak-offs.
Not
she
to
was
him.
Physical pain during him. That's rape.
Not to him.
I think she does.
The mention of coercion amidst a backdrop of dominance and control underscores the severity of the allegations. It paints a chilling picture of how power dynamics can lead to exploitation, making it clear that wealth and status do not exempt one from the consequences of their actions. This creates a ticking time bomb for the jury's decision.
I think she does. And I think that the understanding from the jury that she didn't want to do this, this is linked to his business. She is his employee, and other employees of his are facilitating this happening. That's death. That's death right there for him legally.
God, I want to get you.
I mean, there's the power dynamic.
I want you to come back.
Yeah.
I really, maybe next week we can talk again, because I love your point of view on this. I really want to talk about it. If you come back next week, we'd love it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Deal.
All right, guys.
All right, man. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Trey.
Okay.
Obviously, remember, you can check out his Substack, Culture Fries, and everyone's got a different perspective on what's happening in court and what this testimony really means.
It's really
for Diddy's
interesting
freedom.
case. Okay, taking a break.
All right. When we come back, the NFL schedule is out, and that has turned into a full production for NFL teams. You're going to see some of the funniest videos that were put together by these teams to announce their schedule. And sorry, Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson, you're catching a stray. Got to hand it to the NFL, man. They make everything into a show in the offseason. And yesterday, the schedules for all the teams came out. And every year they now announce it with like big productions. It's like a little show they have to actually produce. And some of them got the teams in a little bit of hot water. At least that's what they want.
Funny.
They want people to talk about it. So the Colts had an interesting one. On their schedule for the upcoming season are the Dolphins. And this is how they denoted that game. The Colts started pulling over a Dolphin.
Gee, what does that remind you of Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill's name and number on the Dolphin. They actually took it down because it reminded people, of course, of Tyreek's arrest, which was controversial. On both sides, people thought it was warranted, and others thought it was, over the line. Tyreek Hill saw it. By the way, he thought it was funny.
He liked it.
He's like, you should have left it up,
Should have
Colts.
taken it down.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what they do. You put it up and you take it down, and it's the whole
To
thing.
get the attention.
That's right.
They used you, Tyreek.
Get more attention. Exactly. The next one is fabulous.
So the Falcons announced their schedule with a whole Mario Kart video game, and it seems like there is ongoing bad blood between the Falcons and Bill Belichick, because in the middle of the race,
look at the sign.
Bill and Jordan with the sign saying, we're not talking about this. They're going back and forth now. So remember, a few months ago, Jordan and Bill were out, I think it was at the Super Bowl that weekend, and she was wearing Happy 328, reference to the Falcons' loss in the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And that was because the Falcons didn't hire him as a head coach. So
it's so funny.
They're just going to keep going back and forth.
I love this.
Your move, Jordan Hudson.
What's up, though, everybody? It's Mo from Battle Creek, Michigan. And I just want to say, let the Colts live. They ain't had this much publicity since Peyton Manning left. And then on the Falcons tip, that was pretty good, because given the fact that Bill Belichick was 28 when she was 3,
Actually, he was much older than 28.
That's what
but I like the line.
Okay, it is that time of the week, folks.
Your favorite time. Tim is here with his rejects and ridiculous applause.
All right, so have you guys ever tried to crack a walnut with your fist?
Yes, no, I actually, and it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah. You need a lot of force.
Didn't work out for you.
With
A
your,
walnut was
alcohol back then.
With your, you need a lot of force. So this is impressive. Check out this guy. He has an uncooked egg in his hand.
Oh,
and
no
he's
way.
Using it, and he's going down the line, and he's crushing the walnuts without smashing the egg. And to prove that it's an uncooked egg.
Smashing the egg at the end?
Nope, there you go. He drops it on the plate, and it is broken.
Okay, that's crazy.
Pretty impressive.
All right.
That's really good.
I hope he got in the Guinness Book.
I like that one a lot. So can you match it for the next two?
I'll definitely try. So when you go hiking, have you ever been when you go hiking?
Okay, you've already lost me.
No, this is insane. This is crazy. Have you never been hiking and not being able to see your next step?
I don't know.
No.
I
All right,
don't
well,
know.
just-
Fog, maybe. I don't know.
Check this guy out here. He's hiking on top of a mountain here at the very tip top. It's covered with snow. He can't
I
even
hate
see
these videos.
his next step there, so he has to kind of like wipe off the snow to see the tip of the
I
mountain
hate
there.
these videos because I don't understand how
Tim,
they don't
I'm getting sick.
fall
Can we
over,
go to the
like,
last one, please?
He's standing right
Please.
on.
All
my
right.
gosh.
So be careful when you're
Wow.
out golfing and trying to do the Happy Gilmore swing. So check out this crew here. So the first guy's pretty good. The second guy, you won't see it on here, but he misses the ball.
Oh!
So
On the
watch.
backswing,
Yeah,
he
on the
hits-
backswing. So he misses the ball, and he hits the grass. He's upset that he missed it.
and he-
on the backswing.
Oh,
And then,
that must have really hurt.
yeah,
That's,
must have.
how is he, Tim?
Wow.
No?
He should be fine because
He
it's
should be
probably just a
fine.
little welt. I mean,
Love this.
yeah.
By the way, how's that cow doing in the bushes?
Yeah.
The price is wrong, Tim.
Okay, thank you,
All
Tim.
right, see ya.
All right. When we come back, the new Diddy lawsuit. A new accuser has come forward and is comparing him to a Tootsie Roll. And not in a favorable way. If Diddy didn't have bigger things on his plate, he would be really upset about this lawsuit.
Justin Bieber has made between $500 million and $1 billion.
TMZ investigates. Is he unraveling before our eyes?
He definitely looked out of it.
Those videos were scary.
The power struggle fueled by money
He was on the verge of financial collapse.
and accusations of betrayal.
For the first time in a long time, he has a circle of people that are protecting him.
Find out the source behind his latest struggles.
They are saying this is a cult.
Absolutely.
TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber. Stream on Hulu now.
Even as Diddy is standing trial for the federal crimes that he is alleged to have committed, there are more lawsuits coming in against him, more civil lawsuits, and a new Jane Doe accuser filed one yesterday as the trial was in full swing, accusing him of a 2001 rape. She says they met in May of 2001 at a nightclub and that she hung out with him at recording studios, but then in July of 2001, things took a turn. What's interesting about this lawsuit is that she has, and I'm not saying that this means anything, doesn't discount her allegations, but she is taking a pot shot at him, comparing him or parts of him to a Tootsie Roll in the lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. Like, Diddy didn't have enough already going on. Like you said, obviously very serious allegations. She's claiming, the fourth time they hung out, the first couple times at the studio and bars were cool, but the fourth time brought her back to his apartment and essentially took her into one of his rooms, locked the door, and raped her.
Look,
You're right.
we have no idea.
But
we have no idea what happened,
Right.
but it does, when you're reading the lawsuit, it makes you go like, wait, is this all just to take some shot at him? I don't know.
Honestly,
but
I think it's a misstep by the lawyer.
yeah, I mean, yes, it's going to get.
This comparison to a Tootsie Roll, while seemingly trivial, trivializes a grave situation. It reveals an alarming trend in how serious allegations can be overshadowed by sensationalism. The lawyer's choice to inject humor into such a dire narrative distracts from the gravity of the accusations, potentially undermining the victim's credibility and the legal process.
It's going to get a headline. It's going to get you attention for your lawsuit.
But it diminishes it.
Exactly.
Liz, New Orleans. Now listen, the streets are already on fire with the freak-offs, the threats, the raids. Let's not get it twisted. This is no laughing matter. So it's just giving more prison orange in his future.
We will see. I mean, there's a long ways to go in this
when
trial.
you have the quote in the lawsuit, an itty bitty Diddy, like you're right, the lawyer wrote it for trying to get a laugh is what it seems.
And trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you guys want to talk about?
Sean P. Diddy Combs on trial right now for basically his life at this point. What I find most interesting is that all the industry people that stood next to him for the last 20 years, nobody showed up to support. No artists, no rappers, no moguls. But hey, guess what? I'm calling it now. This is the O.J. Simpson case of the 2020s, where the media, the content creators, the YouTubers, and the podcasters, we're going to be eating for the next 15 years. The streets got to eat.
Difference is not televised.
Right.
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
One more.
As the Diddy trial unfolds, the shocking revelations about Cassie's experiences challenge our understanding of consent and power. The testimonies expose a world where fame obscures accountability, leaving victims vulnerable. In the face of such gravity, We must confront the uncomfortable truths about power, money, and the hypocrisy that shields the privileged.